Jesus. I tell you, he told his story, of growing up poor. And he wasn't lying, There's some true stories David making up. Yeah, there's some true stories he's making up, But he talked about poor, he grew up poor. Could you play medicationally for me, please? Just, yeah. Right back constituency. David talked about him growing up poor, the kind of meals that he would have had. I wasn't as fortunate as David. I didn't grow up poor. I grew up poor. See, we can afford the other OR. See, now he can say he was poor, P-O-O-R. My daddy had to work 2 jobs just so he could become poor. We were poor. We were so poor. We had to, I don't know if you all ever heard, but hand-me-down clothes. Anyone know how to get hand-me-down? Hand-me-down. Okay, a lot of hands didn't go up. But let me explain what hand-me-down is. Hand-me-down is when you have to wear your older sibling clothes. Am I right? Yeah, you wear your older sibling clothes. And that's what I had to do. Had to wear hand-me-down. Now the difference between my hand-me-down and your hand-me-down is simply this. All of my older siblings were girls. Yeah. See, Mom had 3 girls and then 3 boys. And I remember one day, I was in Hoxton Primary School and there was a young girl I wanted to impress in my class. Great God. The night before, the day after, I remember pressing this shirt. I thought it was a shirt. And the pants that I was pressing, because the next day was our Christmas party. And when I got to school that next day, the girl I was trying to impress, she looked at me, she said, "Will, you wearing girls' clothes?" I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed. And I sat in the back of the classroom, everybody was enjoying the Christmas party with the Kool-Aid and the biscuits and all that. I sat in the corner, didn't enjoy it because I was embarrassed. Keep playing medication of it. It's happened at one point when you sit down for so long, your bladder gets full. And that's what happened to me. My bladder got full and I raised my hand for permission to go to the restroom. When the teacher gave me permission to go to the restroom, I went to the restroom. And my challenge was when I stood in front of the urinal, the zip was in the back. Oh, we were poor. We were poor. We were poor. David talked to remember when. Y'all remember when the price of gas was just $1 a gallon? Someone told me it was 75 cents. I don't remember that far back. I remember the $1 a gallon. And I used to hate it when we go in, when Daddy's going to take the family out, and he could take us to the beach, and he would stop at the gas station, and he would put $20 gas in the tank. Man, because I used to get upset because I said, "You can be here all day. $20 gas, and put in the car." Because when he put $20 gas in, he played medication with you. When he would put that $20 gas in the tank, as he put the clicker in, and he would go look at the tire, check the pressure on the tire, he would open the hood, check the dipstick and do all of that. He would get the squeegee, do the windshield. He would go inside the gas station, get some chips or whatever for Mom to eat or whatever. If we wanted something, he would do that. And he would come inside that gas station going click, 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 click. I'm talking about back in the day, the 70s, the early 70s. And then when sometimes he would go inside and get a newspaper, come back out and read the first page, second page, the business page, even the obituary page. And that gas station going click, 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 click. You want to try that today? Great God. You go to the gas station with $20 gas. Time is you put that clicker in and you turn your back and say, click it! $20 not in. Oh man. I went to the Sims is in the house, and Stubbs and my good cousin is in the house here. So I feel right at home. I feel right at home. And I said to somebody the other day, I was almost a Baptist. One man who almost made me a Baptist was Reverend T.G. Morrison. When he preached, that man dissects scriptures. And you all hear him preach on a Sunday. When he go in the scripture, when he would say, and for God so loved the world, he would go into that soul, and he would give you the genesis of soul, the origin of soul, what soul is, and he would tell you about the concentrate of something. He used some big words, and I applaud him for that because he has a big vocabulary. He can use big words. On the flip side of that, we have some people who have a big vocabulary. Love to use big words, but they can't pronounce them. Case in point, David and I was doing a show in Freeport one time ago, and I saw a friend of mine. I said, "Are you coming to the show tonight?" He said, "You catch me at a bad time." I said, "Why?" "I was constipating on coming in." Constipating on coming. You know. And another lady, she saw me. She said, "You Bill Stubbs?" I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "I see the pictures of you and David Wallace downtown, but you look so extinguished in real life." I said, "Thank you very much. I'm glad you touch your fire." Love to use big words. But so you see when Pastor T.G. Morrison used them, he knows. Yeah, he's a man with a big vocabulary. Yeah. I don't know how many of you, I remember back in the day, when $5, you know, we talk about the gas, $5 back, I didn't tell you stop paying medication. Keep paying medication. That's why I get my inspiration. Yeah. I don't know how many of you know about the $5. $5 can do plenty of things back in the day. I remember my mom gave me $5 one day. And she said, "Bill, I want you to go to the store and get me a pack of rice." I took that $5 and I went to the convenience store that was not too far from us. And to get the pack of rice for Mom. Stopped there when I got to the food store. I got what she asked me for. I went back home with the pack of rice, 2 tin of tuna, a gallon of milk, a tin of sardine, a pack of flour, and then when I got all of that, I was able to give it to my mom and give her $3 change. Oh yeah, this back in the 70s. You know you can't do that nowadays, so hey. Oh no, too much security camera. You can't get away with that now. Yeah, you can't get away with that now. Yeah. But you know, if I was to talk, you know, sometimes I tell people I can talk all day. I have a gift of gab. You know, if I was to talk like this, "Hi, how you doing?" What you say wrong with my voice if I was to talk like that? Hoarse. That's what we say in the Bahamas. Anybody know the medical term for it? Laryngitis. I heard it. You said that? Laryngitis, that's right. This smart girl, good head of the class, laryngitis. You know, one day I felt a little shakish. And when I feel a little shakish, I go right near me, there's a Burger King right near me, and I would take a drive down there. And I went to the Burger King right near me, and I put up to the drive-thru. When I put up to the drive-thru, I heard the intercom, and the person was like, "Hello, may I help you?" I was like, whoa. I said, "Hello." She said, "Yes, may I help you?" I said, "Yeah, can you tell me what all flavor milkshake you have?" She said, "We have strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate." I said, "I beg your pardon?" "We have strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate." After hearing her voice, I said, "You have laryngitis?" She said, "No laryngitis, only strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate." I thought my time had come. I heard David asking about these who took AstraZeneca and all these different things. But I know since the pandemic, the whole country was in curfew mode. We tell you have to shut down at 7 o'clock, and you have to be that way until 12:30. You see where I got it in? My mom told me 10 o'clock. My cousin told me it was 12:30. That was, my cousin don't know. But you see, I always had this little small voice that spoke to me from time to time. And that's where I got my inspiration from. Keep playing recreationally. That very moment when my cousin told me that it was 12:30, and see, at our house back then, you only had 2 phones in the house. One was in the living room, and the other was in my mom's bedroom. So I was at my cousin's house, and I decided to call home. And I called our house, 12:30 minutes to 1. When I called, after the 4th ring, my mom picked up the phone. She said, hello? I said, Mom, I got it. This for me. She called me up. I stayed up till early next morning. Yeah. I tell people, I don't know how many of you got beaten up. We used to get beaten every Wednesday. Every Wednesday we got beaten at our house. And that's in the hands of those of you that got beaten growing up. That's the behemoth again. And but beating me into angel, it made me what I am today. But that's in the hands of those of you, if you had a choice growing up to get beaten from your mom or from your dad. Let's see those who choose their dad. Wow. Let's see the hands of those who choose their mom. Great God. But I chose my dad. Now, mind you, when mom beat, she would talk. When daddy beat, he would talk. But the difference between the two is when daddy beat, he would do it like this. He would say, when I tell you to do something, do it. You hear me? 3 cuts. 3 cuts. I can take that. Even though it might hurt, but I can brush that off. Now when mommy beat for the very same thing, hers goes something like this. Every syllable. When I tell you to come back here. So 10, put your hand on, put your hand on. Do it. You hear me? I don't know where you always come. But you see why I chose my daddy over my mommy, right? Now, guess what? That wasn't bad. You see David in the back there? David used to get beaten on Thursdays. The difference between my beating and David daddy used to stutter. So you can imagine how his home went in. If he got beaten for the same thing I got beaten for, his home used to go something like this, say, bang, 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 I lived all the way in Freeport. David lived in my rock. Times they call me, say, boy, David, I'm getting beaten. And you take that drive down there, you say, you. Oh, man. Yeah, man, it's a good thing, it's good that we can laugh at ourselves. The Bible says in Proverbs 17:22 that a merry heart doth go like medicine, but a broken spirit dryeth the bones. Yeah, I tell you, man, these are true stuff I'm making up, man. I told someone in life, I don't know how many people in churches now, remember back in the day, the ushers used to be them elderly sisters. I had an aunt, she was an usher in the Baptist church in Calvary. And she never used to let nothing stress out. You come to church late and you say you want a seat. She said, how many of you? You say 2. She stood to the door. And she would tell you, okay, you see that woman there? You say, which one? With the pink hat. Okay, you go there right next to her. Ask everybody sitting next to her. They don't sit there, go sit down. And you will go, that's how she used to do it. But I say nowadays, you see what they do with the ushers now? They go get some retired police officer or even an officer still on the force to be your ushers in church. Why? Because of his military training. You watch in most of the churches now, you can tell who the ushers are. Police officers, see them there with their white gloves. That's what I do now. But back in the day, it was like, yeah, that's what I tell the ushers. I tell people I used to go to church 9 days a week. 9 days a week. 6 on Sunday. 6 times on Sunday. You see, on Sunday morning, every Sunday morning at 5 a.m., my dad used to wake us up for morning prayer, family altar, every morning, 5 a.m. Sunday morning, that is. And then at 8 o'clock, we had this thing called morning Sunday school. That's what we had to do. And then after morning Sunday school at 11, we had our morning worship. We had to go there too. And then, after the church was out, my mother was a band leader in our church. Well, and some other churches, they call it a cell group or whatever. They would do that on Sunday. After church, they would go to visit, their cell group and stuff like that. And then after cell group or band leaders meeting, we would have to go to afternoon Sunday school at 3. And after Sunday school at 3, we had to go get a little bite and come back for evening worship. 6 times on Sunday. That's Sunday alone. Monday, my dad was the choir director. Monday was senior choir practice. And because the sons, we played the music, we had to be in senior choir practice. Tuesday, we had 2 events. We had a Gleaner band, that was for the children, that was the children's ministry. And after the Gleaner band, on Tuesday we had DLD, that's the young people meet, youth. And we had to do that on Tuesdays. Wednesday was midweek. Our midweek service, we used to call it CPMA, but it was midweek service. And we had to be there as well. Thursday was Women's Night. And we figured that was our break. At least the brothers, me and my brothers, we thought we had a break. But then we had to go there too because they needed music. And then Friday was youth choir practice, of course, we had to go. But on Saturday, the church had nothing to do except the custodian, Sister Ida. She was the elderly lady, she was the custodian. And we thought we had a break. Daddy said, no, y'all got to go out to the church to help Sister Ida move the pews and stuff so she could sweep behind and what have you. So I'm telling you that again on Sunday, 6 times on Sunday. So you understand, sometimes you get burnt out. And that's how I was. Burnt out from going to church all the time. But hey, I tell them I'll go do it all over again if I have to do it again. Because look at the children nowadays. In life, I tell people we applaud the Golden Girls because they ran in the Olympics and they came first. Got the gold. That's how, And then we had the Golden Knights who won the 4x4. Let's give them a round of applause. They made us. Then we have Kara Lake. Our Prince. Stephen Gardner. I remember the last name, I couldn't remember the first name. Stephen Gardner. He's the best in the world in the 400 meters. I think that's commendable too. Yeah. And of course, our queen, Shawnee Miller Uyibo. They got first. And people made a big thing about coming first. And when you come first, you get what? Gold. Come second, what you get? Silver. Third. Fourth. No, they send you back home when you come fourth, anything after that. But those were important back then. But for me, in life, that don't matter to me anymore. I tell them in life, all I want to do is just be next. I just want to be next. What's your name, man? Bana? Donna. Sister named Donna. It's a nice name, Donna. Donna, I just want to be next. And the reason why I want to be next, when you're next, your name changed from what it is to next. When you're next, you become famous. When you're next, everybody wants to know who you are. When you're next. I'm telling you. What's your name right here, black? Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. My sister named Rhonda. Yeah. You just want to be next. You have everybody inquire as to who you are when you're next. It's a big thing. And so therefore I always aspire to be next. Case in point. I was in the bank the other day, lately, things was a little rough. And I had a check, someone gave me a check for $30. And I could have used that. I was able to put at least 2 gallons gas in my car with the $30. But the point I want to make was I went into the bank with the $30 check. When I stepped in the bank had as much people as in here. And you can imagine how that was, eh? And in the banks, they normally have these long lines. And when you're on those long lines, you step in the bank line, you be like this. You think you get seasick, you keep moving like this. And after about 15 minutes of standing in this spot, you see some movement, and you get to move, and you do this. And I keep going like that for another half hour. There's another movement, and you do this. And after an hour and 45 minutes of keep doing that, I was all the way to the end there. And when I got to the end, this hour and 45 minutes later now, when I got here, they have a cordon off it, go back this way. And if you go back this way like this, $30. What's your name? Princess? Sister named Princess. And Princess, I was on that line, just going, And when I get like about here, now only good thing about it, I'm closer to the teller. I almost touch the teller, but I can't get the eye to move. Yeah. And then after another hour and change, I got down here, and when I reach here, they had to go back this way. You see? And so you can imagine. But after 2 hours and 30 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, I heard bells ringing. Bing, bing, bing. Who's next? I said, I am. A gentleman with like 5 persons behind me. He said, excuse me, sir. I said, yes. He said, are you next? I said, yes, I am. You see, everybody wants to know who you are. When you're next. You see? I heard somebody else in the mic say, what's next? Who next? And you see, guess what? When you're next, the ball is in your court. You can let the person behind you go ahead. It don't matter who you know. Guess why? It's next! It's not that. So I always tell people, that is a big thing for me. Being next. And then guess what? When I went to the counter, now being in the bank for so long now, on the line for so long, sometimes you forget who you are and you forget who you're going for. When she first asked me, may I help you? I said, yeah, they got me a Whopper with. Oh. She had to remind me, say, you know who you are? I said, oh yeah. Bye. So then I gave her the check. I endorsed her on the back and the end. When I endorsed her, she did her transaction and she passed me my money. And as I was walking, I said, thank you very much. I started to walk away. And as I was walking away, I checked it. I realized it wasn't right. Keep playing that picture. I realized it wasn't quite right. So I went back to the wicket. I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, the money you gave me wasn't right. She said, I'm sorry, sir, but you've already left the wicket. Once you move away from the wicket, I can't serve you anymore. Our transaction is complete. I said, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is the money is wrong. She said, I am sorry, sir. You have already left the wicket. Once you move away from the wicket, you have to get served, go back up the line, you can serve me or whatever. I can't serve you. Next in line, please. I said, but ma'am, what I'm trying to say, she said, I'm sorry, sir. You have already left the wicket. Once you move away from the wicket, I can't serve you anymore. So I said, ma'am, all I wanted, she said, I am sorry. Listen, you want me to call the police for you? I said, no, I don't want you to know. She said, you already left the wicket. Next in line, please. I said, okay, well, all I'm trying to tell you, I came in here for $30. You give me $529. She said, say what?